welcome back to the YouTube channel, and today I'm going to walk you through another process of mine. Now this is something that you haven't seen yet. I might have touched up on it in my previous videos, but when I'm traveling or planning photos and trying to figure out what it is that I want to do, so I have my upcoming trip to Ireland, and I'm going to walk you through my process on what it is that I'm doing and how I am able to do and envision this. So right here, I'm going to go back. So this is called Trello, and this is literally how I plan from when I start my day to the end of the day. Like there's days where I start at 1 in the morning, and you guys, you're not seeing that, but that's what's happening to get to these spots. But this is how I plan, and this is called Trello, Trello. It's a really cool platform, but this is one that I use. I have different things in here. I have my business stuff, personal goals and work, daily stuff, but we'll go with this one. So think of it as like sticky notes. If you've ever used sticky notes to plan out, okay, day one and what you're gonna do, is the exact same thing, right? So the first thing I started doing is I know I needed to find locations in Ireland, and this is where Google Earth and Instagram, Twitter, and stuff like that comes into play, where you can sit here and find all of this information, and then you simply just add it. So when you go in, right, so this first one is the Cliffs of Moher, right? We were able to make it. It's just an image that, what I'm envisioning close to what I would like to shoot, right? So I upload a file so that way I can see what it is that it looks like. And there's different things, some of them are going to have different information and different locations, but this is broken up by sea, land, castles, right? The Kylemore Abbey, that was really cool. I'm really excited for this one. That one's going to be beautiful. But yeah, so there's some stuff in here the dark edges. Now here's the thing with the dark edges that I don't know if anybody's talked about yet, but the dark edges, if you ever go to Ireland, and I actually need to remove this, so I'll just take this and we'll just do this. Edit, archive, boom, super easy. The dark edges are no more, they're actually dying. But yeah, so as we go through, I have color tags, notes, my flight itinerary, and then what we'll be doing each day, right? And so, we're starting on the 24th, right? And they're in order based on the shoot. So stopping at the Guinness Storehouse. Why? Because we probably are landing super early. I think we'll be landing around 10. The Berkeley Library, and so on. And not all of these, I actually have more than what I can do in one area, because not all things are necessarily going to work out. So for example, let's say we land and we do the Guinness factory, but we can't make the Berkeley Library, right? Okay, can we do the next one? And if we can't do that, then okay, let's go to the big one that I know I really want to get, right? And so that allows you to see and have options, and even then you can go in, right? So when I come in, I have a description, I have photo tips, travel information, the location on a map, right? So I can click this, let this open, and so as we zoom out, right, now we know where in Ireland it is, right? And so this is something else. This is in Trello, okay? So I pulled the location from Google and I just put it into my board. But right here you have map, timeline, table, and board. And you just click the board and you go back. And all of this is a part of this program, and they do have a free version. I'm not getting paid for talking about this. I'm just showing you what it is that I do on the back end as I'm planning these shots, right? And so we break it throughout, the whole thing, right? Updates, backup information, rentals, things for staying healthy, getting packed, and a booking checklist, right? And so this is a really good way to help keep your stuff in line. Now, coming back, yeah, I do have this map, but I also have a second map that is called My Maps, and so that is going to look like this. So My Maps, how this is you can make your own map if you go to Google My Maps, and this will allow you to add like different locations throughout any country in the world. You could go to Isles of Man, right here, or the UK, right, and do this exact same thing. I have one for Iceland, and then I also have one for Hawaii. But the way that I have this broken down and how this is useful for me is, one, right, let's say in a year, you're going to be going somewhere. Well, you can start looking into books and like, oh, making little notes. Oh, I might want to see this, right? And then you can come in here, over here, and map it all, right? And so the way this is broken up, all the green dots that we see, right, all of those are going to be landscape shots. And then blue is going to be waterfalls, and then castles, and that's it. That's as far as I've got so far. But that's a lot of locations. Some of this needs to be updated, right? But like we can click on run. Like let's look at let's do a waterfall. Let's do a secret waterfall. Where you at? Secret waterfall. Right. This one I'm really excited about. Right. So I click it. It has the information. Viewing Google Maps. Right. And now I'm going to go to Google Maps where I can, one, see where it's at. So like right here, right off the bat, what do we see? Right, you have a main road, and this looks like maybe a driveway or something. Yeah, I don't think we could go down that. So yeah, so like this is going to allow you to see that specific spot, right? So that's not a parking lot, and this probably is right here. Yeah, so you probably got to walk down, right? And so, but that's why is this relevant is because, well, okay, now we know we got to walk down to the ocean to get to this waterfall, right? This is secret waterfall. That's the cave entrance right there. But to get to this waterfall, from my understanding, is you have to you got to follow the ocean. So right here, right? So you walk down here, and then you have to walk all the way along this, and then it's right up in here, the waterfall. But okay, what does that entail? What's that telling me, right? If I got to walk along this edge, right, what do we see? This looks like it's probably low tide. So something I need to check and keep an eye on for when I do go to this location is, high tide, low tide. And so that's relevant information, because like if okay, if I go to this spot in the morning, it's going to be high tide. Well, what are you going to do for the next 6+ hours, right? The tide's going to be high for a hot minute. And so you can try and be like, okay, maybe, switch stuff around. But yeah, and so this is something that I'm consistently doing. I have a bigger shot list in different areas, but there's also really good information within this stuff, because you can add like notes, you can add a location, pictures, but you can also share it with people and message them. If you're working as a team, right, you can add team members. So I had me and a bunch of my staff up in here, right? So you can see them right here, right? They have access to this board too, and they're allowed to go in, arrange, adjust as we're talking, right? Because I like to drive, and in Ireland, it's a great experience to drive right hand, left side, which I'm really excited about. And so with that, like, I'm really excited. And so if I'm driving, I can't be right doing this, so I can call up, or whoever's in the car with me at that time, they can help me be like, okay, yeah, we can do this, or we can do this, right? And so you can add in hotel information, Airbnbs, whatever, if it's a national park. But yeah, this is a really good way to plan out your trips uh, for your photography and allow it to, grow. And you can even, create your own type of different ones, right? I have my business stuff, I have personal goals, planning my day, right? And 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 it allows you to stay more organized. Um, and then the last thing I'll say is get a timer. So something I'll do when I'm at my computer for a long amount of times is I will start to get tired, or like your back will start to hurt, right? And so I'll set a timer for like 40 minutes. Timer goes off, get up, stretch, move around, go look outside, right? Allow yourself to, like, have a little breathing room, take a 5-10 minute break, come back, and keep going. Um, but yeah, this is what you guys don't see uh, from the main videos with when we're on location, right? Um, it has our tickets. Um, when the we didn't do it in here, I prefer to write it out and visually see it. But like, for example, when we land, I think we're landing at like 10, something like that. And when we look at the map, right, we land, let's see, Dublin Airport. So this is the other thing you have to do is plan. So that's probably like a 30-minute drive. Let's see. Oh, this one. Come on. Sorry. Right, so now that I finally got that open, right, so that's the Guinness house, and the Dublin airport's there, so we'll hit directions, choose a point, Dublin airport. Yeah, so 34 minutes, right, depending on which way you go. And so that's important to know, but you can sit here and map out from, right, you can come over here, add a destination, and then put that in, and then add a destination, and so on, and keep doing that throughout the whole process. And so as you do that, right, you can sit here and map out your entire route. And so when I do it, it'll sit here, we're going to go up north and then around. Well, here, I'll just show you real fast. So, right, that's going to the Dublin factory, right? So we know we want to go there. Let's say we can't make it to the Kylemore Abbey, or not Kylemore Abbey, the Berkeley Library, right? Okay, so our next spot is going to be right here, right? So we could come in here, click here. We don't want to change it. I need to, oh, there we go. We just highlight, Control C, copy and paste, and then come back to our map and Control V, right? And just hit enter, and boom, right? So now we just added, right, more time. And this is also important, right? So we can see, okay, we got point A to point B, right, and now we're starting to map out. So this is going to be about a 2 hour and 30 minute, but we can also see, oh, there's castle, here's another castle, right? There's things to do on your way up. Another castle. There's over 30,000 castles in Ireland, so you're gonna literally see them everywhere. But this allows you to adjust. So let's say you spend more time at your first location down here in Dublin at the Guinness factory, right? So we know we're gonna skip that. We'll skip that. So let's say we want to skip that, and we need to just go to our main location, right? Which should be right here. Yep. Right. So that's one of our main locations. We're not shooting this on day one. That's gonna be maybe like day 2 or something. And so come in here, we can just highlight, Control C, go back, add a destination, or actually, because we're not going to go there, we'll just go straight there, right? See, and now it changes, and now we can see, oh, well, okay, this route has tolls, this route has, you know, country and a border, right? So, okay, you know, that's good to know, right? A country, region, border. What does that mean? Well, if anybody hasn't ever been to Ireland, what it means is, see this gray line right here? That is Southern Ireland, or Northern Ireland. So you have Northern Ireland and then Southern Ireland. They're the exact same country, but they're governed by 2 different governments. And so when you're down here, south, everything is under the United Kingdom, so it's going to be euros. And then Northern Ireland is the opposite. They're ran by a whole different government, but theirs is pounds. So you're dealing with currency exchange right now. And so, because you're dealing with currency exchange, that's good to know, because if you come over here, they're not going to take euros, right? So that's why, you know, seeing this information is important. And I'm not too worried about tolls. I like tolls. Everywhere you go, eventually you'll have to go on tolls, and it's just to save time, right? And so we know that's where we're going to go, and then we would do our Airbnb. And so that allows me to sit here and draw out my map through the entire island, to see what it is that I'm wanting to do. So, coming back to the Trello board. But yeah, we sit here and do that. And also with Trello, you can see all of your locations here on the map to see what is where, what, you know, all the different castles and whatnot. And I mean, in like Adair Manor, this is a hotel, and it's a private hotel, and I don't know if we're going to go there or not, but it's one that you have to make a reservation for. But it's a really nice hotel. If you ever go to Ireland, I highly recommend trying to check this out. But like I said, I don't know if we're going to go there or not. But yeah, so that's what a Trello board is. And you know, I'm constantly using Google Maps, My Maps, and allowing to see everything that's going on within, you know, this whole art process of putting this together and building it up, and I take my time with it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe.